son had, and being able to go in there, hunt, fish, camp where we please, without have to have permits, without having to wait in line, and having to pay just to drive across the highway to see it. And if you get to looking at the national monuments, all the monuments that the Forest Service operates, with the exception of the newest one that was made last year.
I'm a little bit hard here, and some of the rest of it. Could you move the table back here and put it on us? We want to hear what
You want to hear me, huh? Well, maybe it'd be easier if me to come up. There you go. All the national monuments charge to get in, anywhere from $5 to $8 a day, or $30 to $50 a year, just to get in. All but the newest one, and they haven't made the plans on it yet. It was just made in September of last year. And last time I was on that website, at the time they did not charge yet, but the rest of them do charge. They also have permit systems, to where you have to have permits to camp, to build a fire. Most of them, 2 of them I know, maybe 3 right offhand, do not allow dogs or horses on there except on designated trails. All dogs have to be on leashes. Some places do not even allow you to be in there. They're considered research areas. So I will read you how this come about. I have no idea. If you go by the law of what a national monument is, this is reaching way out of context. The National Monument Law was started off in 1906. The President of the United States is authorized in his discretion to declare by public proclamation historic landmarks, historic and prehistoric structures, or other objects of historic or scientific interest that are situated upon the land owned or controlled by the government of the United States to be national monuments, and may reserve as a part thereof parcels of land, the limits of which in all cases shall be confined to the smallest area compatible with the proper care and management of the objects to be protected. When such objects are situated upon a tract covered by a bona fide unperfected claim or held in private ownership, the tract or so much thereof as may be necessary for proper care and management of the object may be relinquished to the government, and the Secretary of the Interior is authorized to accept the relinquishment of such tracts in behalf of the government of the United States. As far as I know, there is no prehistoric landmarks in Cranberry that this would protect. The glades in Hills Creek are protected under separate entities, and this national monument will not include them. I don't know of anything scientific located in there. What they are trying to say is scenic view counts as, or cultural things count as scientific or national monument status. Now, some of you have been to Sharp's Knob, some of them haven't. There's coal mines up there, there's strip mines up there. Now, is that what you want in a monument? And if it is, then anything could be designated a monument. This is a way overreach. This isn't protecting something. This is more in the line of ideology. You might want to say political. Well, as soon as the president signs this, if he signs this, it then becomes political land. And the Wilderness Coalition The Wilderness Coalition is made up The Wilderness Coalition is made up of Sierra Club, the Highland Conservative, Wilderness Society, I think it is, and there's one other wilderness group involved in it. There's 4 groups involved in the Wilderness Coalition. This is not, as they say, a grassroots effort, I don't believe. It's more of a group pushing from the top down. This whole process has went backwards. Nobody's ever come and asked us, do you want a national monument? And if you do, where do you want it? They come up with a plan. This is a national monument. It took forever to get it out, didn't it, Jamie? To try to get any information on it. And if it hadn't been for Colley and me nosing around a little bit, a lot of people wouldn't have known anything about it. Because Colley resigned over the vote for the Tourism Commission. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Maybe he can go into that in a little more detail after a while.
Where does the Wilderness Coalition get their money? Because this Mike Costello is a paid lobbyist.
Well, Sierra Club, Sierra Club, the Highland Conservative, and 2 other wilderness groups.
Who's this Mike Costello?
Mike Costello is, that's who pays for them.
They've got a new group that just joined them too. It's the West Virginia Rivers Coalition. And they're in partnership with Wilderness Coalition.
Do they get any federal money?
I have no idea.
That'd be interesting to find out.
They don't.
Probably all they want.
I don't know if Mike Costello is a registered lobbyist or not, or whether what you have to do to consider to be a lobbyist, but as far as I'm concerned, he's a lobbyist for them, trying to push this through. He's getting paid. He's a salesman. He'll tell you the good points. Now, between me and Colley, we're going to try to tell you some of the other points tonight that they won't tell you. You know, you've never heard them say anything about having to pay to get in. They're not going to tell you you're going to have to pay. But all the rest of them has it in it, so you can bet your money this one's going to have it in. You're going to have permits, just like I was talking about. All the rest of them has permits.
Keep your dog on leashes, you said.
Yeah, a lot of them. That I've seen, you have to have your dogs on leashes.
That'll be the day.
Well, part of the place is not even allowed to have horses or dogs on a lot of the trails. Same way with the national park in Shenandoah National Park over here in Virginia. I work with some guys that one of them has holdings in it. Another guy has property bordering it. And they use it sometimes, some of them. And it's $30 a day, or, $30 a year, or $15 for 7-day permit. You have to sign it, and you have to show your driver's license when you go in.
Are you going to be allowed bicycles on it?
You won't in a wilderness area.
You won't?
You're not allowed to bicycle or anything with wheels in the wilderness area now, but that's not going to change the wilderness area. It'll be separate. The wilderness part will be managed as is. It will not affect it. And I have pictures over. It might be part of the ones I took with you when we was down Cranberry.
Okay.
They don't show up very good. Show the whole up a whole lot better on my computer. Big screen what it does on that. But anybody that's been in the North Fork drainage, and I haven't been down the Middle Fork for a good while, but anybody that's been in there knows what their protection looks like. I remember when you could drive a car down in there. Yeah, a lot of places not even in roads. Forced completely out.
You don't even have a bridge on the North Fork.
Right. I believe, well, Solly might know, did they dynamite that bridge out?
Wrenched it out, I think. They hauled out. But it wrenched
Well,
it out.
that's after it got down the creek and plugged it up. They come in, that's after they blowed it down or whatever and it washed down the creek, and they come in with helicopter. National Guard, I think, did that as a training exercise.
I know it's been about 20 years. Private. And they use horses to take it out there. They give a lot of that horse training.
One of them, guys in the ranger's office, I got bad, different information on it. One of them in Elkins told me that National Guard went in there and took it out as part of a training exercise one time.
I don't know, it's possible.
I know they did drag the 48-inch cardboard out. That's another thing, when they made that into a wilderness area, they did not take any culverts out, did not put any water breaks in. So you know what happens on hilly ground when you do not do something to the road. Now, nobody in here would take their house cat and have it declawed and pull his teeth and then throw it outside and say, here, defend for yourself. And that's basically what they did with the wilderness area. I mean, they had it where it couldn't drain and wouldn't drain except through their culverts, and then they just walked away from it. But that's sort of a different subject.
Does anybody know what Ray Hall's position, when this thing first started, I was told about pretty good officers that Ray Hall was supporting this thing. And I called his office and they said that the exact words was Ray Hall did not have a hand in this. But I was told that he was supporting this thing.
From what I hear, he supports. Collie might have something on this.
I've got to be real careful because I work for a 501c3. Now, I can give you pretty much everything's a fact. Ray Hall supported the Spice Run Wilderness, was very proactive in its creation. I talked to an official today, high up in the DNR, and he told me that Ray Hall was supporting this proposal. Was supporting this proposal. And at this time, it was his understanding that Manchin was trying to stay as far away from it as he could from what happened to him on the National Park proposal with Judy Rod up in the...
When this thing first started, I sent a letter to the editor and I said Ray Hall was supporting it. And I got a call from his office wanting me to retract it. And I did, I retracted it. And their exact words was Ray Hall did not have a hand in it, is what he told me.
That's my official understanding. I don't know, Cody.
You said a high official from the DNR said he was supporting it?
Yeah.
Might that
Said that he was
be,
under the understanding that Ray Hall was supporting it. But, you know, the best thing to do is write him a letter and ask him.
That's the guy we need to work on.
they don't mind to tell you something's not true.
He'll lie to you.
Frank Jezero is one you told you that?
No.
No, I know him very well. He stops at my house quite often.
The monument does run to the Randolph County line below Slatyville, which Randolph County is in a different congressional
Senator
district.
Capito, she wouldn't support it.
And that's the reason why they quit it, because they didn't want to get on another congressional district and have them fight against it.
Exactly. That's what happened.
That's why it runs mysteriously to Randolph County line.
But you're still catching all the drain waters into the Elk River, even by stopping at the Randolph County.
Yeah, they are getting all
But
the,
they're not catching Tigers Valley. You'll get that next.
well, they'll get the rest of 219 next, and then that cheap country will be phase 3. But, yeah, anybody thinks it's going to quit at this, look at Cranberry. They added to it, they added to 2 or 3 other wilderness areas, and they wanting way more than what they got. Yes.